and welcome back to the Taste of South Carolina, and we're here with Nathalie Dupree. She is the author of numerous cookbooks and also has been a teacher in terms of teaching cooking.
Yeah.
And we're going to see some of that tomorrow. So welcome.
It's lovely to be here. What good of food I've had already. I love our food.
I love our food too, and you know I've always loved it, but now that I find it harder to get to places that I might have wanted to go to before, I see everybody else loves our food as well.
Well, it is. It's when Cynthia and my co-author and I accepted the James Beard Award for our book, I just warned him. I said, watch out, y'all. Southern is hot. That's the new thing.
Well, and I haven't told you this yet, but my son is a chef up in New York, and it's amazing how he'll do other foods, even though his background is in French food. People continue to want that Southern food, and now he's talking to people over in San Francisco about Southern food.
Well, I know they just redid my book, Shrimp and Grits, and they said, well, we want to aim it towards the California audience. And I said, the California audience wants shrimp and grits. But that's shrimp and grits is a quintessential Charleston dish. I mean, it was only done in Charleston at the turn of the 19th century, and we've authenticated, the first man that ever did a recipe on it was in 200 years of Charleston cooking. Wow. And he said his mother fixed it for him every day. During the season, he'd just go out and catch the shrimp, and they'd eat them whole and pour them on the grits. So.
And that was, of course, you cannot forget the butter, of course, and that was the life, and it's amazing that there are still people down there that have that life with the oysters and the shrimp and the crab.
And we do, and people go out and catch their own. It's wonderful if you have a dock. But all of us try to catch our own sooner or later, and it's fun introducing people to real shrimp. I did have a friend from Los Angeles that came, and I gave him some shrimp and grits, and he said, oh, I had no idea shrimp could taste this way. And
the shrimp fresh from South Carolina definitely are very different from anything else. They're so sweet.
Well, we found out that what a shrimp eats affects the taste. So it's different in South Carolina, in the marshes and, near the shore, than it is out in the deeper ocean, when they have to stay offshore. Because out there they eat the algae, and so they taste more like iodine. Right. Closer to the shore, they're sweeter. And then it's different from what you get in the bayou in Louisiana because of what they eat. So, I mean, people tend to think that things are generic, and we know that South Carolina shrimp are 100 times better than foreign fish, imported fish.
Well, they definitely are, and I know that you've got some fabulous recipes in here that are definitely different from any that we're going to find, even outside of South Carolina, but also outside of any places that we're going to be traveling over the years. Yeah. But tell me about particularly this Mastering the Art of Southern Cooking. Tell us about this book.
Well, I've always wanted to make people understand that Southern cooking has techniques, that it has techniques and theory, and that it's important to understand that Southern cooking is not just slapdash, that it always required skill and knowledge, and that it might have been passed on orally or visually, but it was still is a skill that requires knowledge. And so we I think we've really got it down to where we have got a lot of the techniques in there. We're always thinking of something that we forgot to mention, but for instance, take biscuits, which I'm going to be doing tomorrow morning, as well as shrimp and grits. Biscuits are completely different no matter who makes them, but there are some common motions. All right, if you're making biscuits, you want to have a wide bowl, because if you have a narrow bowl, you tend to overwork the dough. And people tend to grab the smallest bowl they have, but traditional biscuit makers had wide bowls so that they could get their hands in there. So it just goes on like that. How to measure, how to sift, what self-rising flour is, why self-rising flour, and the history of things like biscuits.
And I think it makes a lot of the young cooks and also the cooks in general want to pay attention to their chemistry classes.
Well, I think so. Food chemistry is a new thing, but it's very important, food chemistry, yeah.
And Nathalie, we're going to come back and visit with you later on, and it's been a pleasure. Your books are beautiful, and and before we let you go, I just want to say that I believe it was the Mastering the Art of Southern Cooking that was the James Beard Award.
Well, actually, there are 3. Southern Memories, Southern Memories is a James Beard Award-winning book. So is Comfortable Entertaining, and then the last one.
Well, thank you, Nathalie.
Very fortunate. I have 3.
That's almost unheard of.
So, thank you.
Thank you.